Welcome to Daily Conversation. This is Mr. K.
Hello, this is Eric.
Yeah. All right. So today is the 27th of July 2021, and the time now is 6:17 a.m. Well, today our topic is, if you could, would you buy an AI robot girlfriend? For what purpose? So before we get started, please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, so here we go. Okay, and firstly, I still remember last year we have this topic. This is an old topic, and I remember that my answer uh, is more towards no, I won't. And then yeah, but for this year maybe yeah, I think my answer changed a little bit. All right, so before all of this, firstly, I think if this were true, we should know that first, it is not so as cheap as a toy. Yeah, for this one, AI robot maybe in our remaining life because maybe it is still in the early stage, and then it will be expensive, I think. And just now I also did a quick research. Um, I get a figure which is 15,000 US dollar, and I'm not sure. I didn't do further research, and then
15
didn't
or 50?
15,000.
Yeah, 15,000 is quite cheap to recent country.
Mm, yep. But I didn't do further research. I didn't know whether this uh, AI robot's girlfriend is how is it look like, and uh, how 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 similar it is to human. Yeah, maybe it is just like a machine which can uh, talk with you, or what. Yeah. So maybe in the future, if they really want to do this, and then with the technology, which is the second thing we should know, technology is continually improving, and I believe that everything we can find in human, we can also find we can also find them in the AI robots too one day. So at that time, maybe this isn't the price anymore. I mean, the price would increase maybe if they really can do uh, to make a robot just like a human, and then they will try to uh, make it uh, um, valuable. I mean, because if they can compete with human, they wouldn't just sell it so cheap. Yeah. So second point is that yeah, just like I said, we can also find the things we find in human, and then uh, also it's likely to be much better than a real human. Yeah, because of the continually improvement. So I believe that one day robots can perform better than human in many aspects. Yeah. So this is the second thing I want to mention, and third is the assumption and decision. Yeah, this is for this topic because we want to discuss. So I think we should have some assumptions before further discussion. So here is, I think, can we ask to have an AI girlfriend who is the really ideal type of person we want? Yeah, for this one, because if yes,
I think you can.
you can. Yeah, we can. But sometimes if we really do that, we will find that we will try to exploit. I mean, we want to dominate, right? Because we paid it, we pay for it. So yeah, and it is quite uh um how to say 矛盾. It is quite
Contractually,
sorry.
contractually.
Yeah, contractory, because at one point we want them to be as real as a human, and at one point we want all the benefit that we want, and then as much as possible. So in that case, it seems like if we pursue all of these two, maybe we will feel like it is not so real. Yeah, and then
Uh, yeah. If you
yeah.
want AI
Mm.
can act like human, you must allow them to do this to to faithfully be emotional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
And
But
it's not something impossible. I think this is not the this is not the main technology issue. It's not the this is not the main problem here.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, and try to imagine if you decided to buy the AI robot, AI girlfriend robot,
Yeah.
and then the company who sell you the the robot, we call the AI company,
Mm.
will help you do the assessment. And they not only sell you an AI robot, they also provide an AI service,
Mm.
which they use the AI to identify, to assess what type of girlfriend you like.
Yeah, we're right. Mm. Yep. Yep. All right. And
And
mm.
also, one
Yep.
another thing is nowadays a lot of AI can do better than human already.
Mm.
Which means AI actually know AI actually know you better than you know yourself. For example, like YouTube.
Mm.
Yeah, and we discussed before, if you want to know, or if someone want to know what type of person you are,
Yeah.
they just go, they just take your phones and open your YouTube apps,
Mm.
and then see what you search for, and also maybe your Google history, and they can probably know what type of person you are,
Mm.
and you
Yeah.
and you don't even aware you search something on YouTube, on the Google.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And also this reminds me of the topic we talk about cancer, and then we have an assessment, right, online. And if yeah, it is of course it is possible to make the assessment uh more and more detailed, and then more and more accurate. So in that case, also the AI know better than ourselves, right? Because sometimes we are not aware of um, whether we are at a high risk of getting cancer.
Yeah.
Mm.
But the question is, you answer the question, so you have to be honest to you. But when
Mm.
you answering some questions, whether you know,
Yeah.
yeah, what you want actually. So this is come
Mm.
from your deep mind, and maybe when you're doing the assessment, you are not you are not that honest actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You make a point here.
instead of doing instead of giving you a questionnaires and ask you to fill,
Mm.
yeah, instead of doing that, an AI automatically assess you just like the YouTube, just
Mm.
like the Google. They
Yep.
don't give you a
Observe.
questionnaire.
Yeah.
Mm,
Observe our behavior, right?
mm.
Mm. Yep. Yep.
And maybe it can work better because they may get your information from YouTube, from Google, and from everywhere. They think is possible to know better you. Mm.
Mm.
They can gather your information. Of course, this is under uh, the Privacy Data Protection Act.
Mm.
Yeah, because they need to request your approval, and then when you approve them to do that, and then they gather the information maybe from you or maybe from the Google.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And then yeah, you for this one also is something that I overlooked. I think for technology, um, especially for me, because maybe is the um, underestimation. It occurs very often when I talk about technology topic. Yeah.
And
So
also, and next thing is, what if they give you a wrong girlfriend that you want?
yeah,
What they can do?
replace another one.
Yeah, replace another one. But what is the cost to them?
Mm.
They just change they just change. Yeah, they just change the code,
Yeah. For this
right?
one also, I overlook because in the reality we can change our girlfriend, right?
Mm.
Yeah. And then so in the robots, I believe that we must be able to do that because in the reality we can do it, and in robots we should be able to do that. And then yeah, you're right. For here it related to the consideration of cost, whether we need how much cost additional we need to pay if we want to have this kind of arrangement to change the other one, something like that.
Okay, I think the AI company, if if the AI company want to succeed, they have to give something like the free maintenance, so you
Mm,
can exchange your girlfriends at any time if you don't like. Yeah, and
mm,
why they need to do that? Because the data is really really important.
mm,
And even though they can gather the data from YouTube, from Google, but there's no some information. So I mean, there's still there are still much information they couldn't gather. They couldn't know uh, what is you in
mm.
reality,
Yep.
in real life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though, even though like when you browsing some website on internet,
Mm,
it give them it already give them a picture. Yeah, and most likely it is the more accurate picture
yeah.
than your friend give you. Mm. But that's still not enough. If they really want to success, they have to like somehow some call like the try and error. They send you
Mm,
a girlfriend, and
yep.
then after you use it, and then the girlfriend will also observe you, will also obtain the data, and then
Yeah.
after they obtain the data, they will change. And also, just now you mentioned about the code. You need to change the code, but maybe they don't need to change the code.
Uh,
Why? Because machine learning.
the
The
code?
insert.
Oh, yeah, maybe you mishear the word. Just now I say the cost.
Yeah,
I
no. I mean the code.
code. Oh,
The programming code.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. They need to just now you say they need to replace the code, the
Mm,
programming code inside the AI processor of the brain.
mm.
Yeah, so they can change personality to
Yeah.
suit your needs, something like that.
Mm.
Look at the Tesla full self-driving FSD. They don't need to change the code actually because uh, they create a machine learning, and
Mm.
then the computer will learn by themselves.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what if the company send you a blueprint, and then you just use it, you just try to use it, and then your girlfriend will keep improving, and then after some time, it will know everything about you,
Mm.
just like mm, just like you find a girlfriend, or maybe you meet a new friend. Initially, they don't know you, but after some
Mm.
time, they know you.
Yeah.
They know you better. So AI could also become like this.
Yeah.
And the advantage of AI is the learning curve is really, really fast. Yeah, and also at the end game, AI most likely maybe 99% beats a human.
Mm. Yeah. 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 Just now, yeah, suddenly I have a feeling like, firstly, I was happy because technology is able to, will be able to reach at that particular performance. But at the same time, I also feel a little bit sad because, like you said, it 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 is very likely that they can outperform human. Yep.
But remember what the placebo and also the nocebo effect. Yeah, even though they can outperform human, but maybe you still prefer human.
Mm.
For example, like the waitress. One of the reasons the AI couldn't replace them right now, of course, the cost. Because hire a waitress is much cheaper than implement an AI robot.
Mm.
But another reason is, can you imagine you give the tips to the AI robot? Can't imagine, right?
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. So the restaurant may lose some money, and also the the customer like the human interactions. They don't like to interact with a robot.
Mm. Yeah, I think I don't know, maybe for this one it is still at the beginning stage, and maybe in one day the interaction between human and robot will will change, and it will be uh, in uh, in 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 indifferent uh, between human and the robot, maybe. And I think this is also one of the question mark in my mind when discussing this topic, because especially last year, I remember that my answer is more towards a real a real girlfriend, which is human and not robot.
Mm,
Um, for this year, it changed quite a lot because I think this is the degree of ourself, whether whether we are open enough to accept um, the technology. And I think in the future, because technology is surrounding us almost everywhere, uh, and then maybe at that time we can be uh, something like getting used to it, and maybe treat them like a human also, and we will also put in our affections, our real feeling inside, maybe.
mm.
Yep. And then yeah, one more question. uh do you think if we can do this, we can ask for a girlfriend which is the uh ideal type, and then of course, like you said, they will continuously improve. But if, let's say, if we kind of exploit it, let's say uh, um, we are dominating 100%, and then will they keep suiting our taste? Let's say if a guy hit the robot, yeah, uh, what will happen? Because in the world of robot, maybe we still haven't have something like the law, right?
Mm.
Uh, Dealing with that. So in that case, human will have more authority, we have more power, and then we buy them. So yeah, can we hit them? If we hit them, and then they need to act like a real human, but they still not as same as a human. They didn't have the right like the law or something else, right?
Okay, and what if the one of the features of the girlfriend is not act your taste? They may change your personality. They may change
Oh,
your behavior
wow.
into a good way. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm.
It's not that they keep changing for us. Maybe they try to influence us, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
So maybe, for example, yeah, an AI, they can be your girlfriend. They also can become a therapist. They can like something like cool your mental
Mm.
issue, your mental problems,
Yeah.
and maybe they can change your habits. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's something like if you buy a if you buy AI girlfriend robot, mm, you you're having a commitment device. Mm.
Mm. Yeah. We
Yeah,
learn in
because
the Atomic Habits.
mm, yeah, and we know if you can implement the technology to uh to reduce the frictions of heavy formations or heavy braking, you should do
Right.
that. Mm. Yeah.
Mm.
So try to imagine you get an AI girlfriend and they can influence you. Yeah. And also, for example, maybe they couldn't influence you by their own. You need to give
Yeah.
them some instructions. You need to like maybe you need to insert the programming code. Of course, you don't need to know the programming language. You just
Mm.
need to know how to speak English or maybe how to
Yeah.
speak Chinese. Mm. Then, for example, you tell her or you tell the company, yeah, you want to cut your loss. You want to cut your weight.
Mm.
Yeah, so the girlfriend will more or less will help you on this part.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
or maybe you say you want to be an entrepreneur.
Mm.
Then your girlfriend more or less will also help you
Yeah.
to achieve that. But it doesn't guarantee you it doesn't guarantee the success. At
Yeah.
least they'll help you on the path.
Mm. Yeah. All right. I think for that one, maybe we can discuss in the second part of the question, which is for what purpose, what we want the robots do for us, right?
Mm.
Mm. Yeah. And then um, yeah, I suddenly forgot what I want to say. Uh, yeah, maybe you continue first. I forgot the point.
Mm.
Yeah.
In previous topic, we discussed about the relationship, the value, your value about the relationship.
Mm.
And I told you the value of the relationship value of mine is actually want to grow together. Yeah,
Mm.
and this is the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because mm, if if the gaps between you and your partner become larger and larger, you can't and eventually you and her are not in the same world, yeah, are not live in the same world, even though you two live in the same house, but you two are not live in the same world.
Mm.
Yeah. So when the gaps become larger and larger, and you know, like, uh, it actually it actually would destroy the relationship. Mm.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah, and this is not good for the person who have higher level, and also it's also not good for the person have a lower level because they can't communicate. And yeah, they can't even communicate on the same level of thinking.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and also and a lot of decision making require a lot of thinking. And after you get the thinking, after you get the thought, and
Yeah.
this is a part, it takes time and require hard work to understand. For example, investment.
Mm.
And if you ask yourself a question, how can a person don't do investment? Maybe 1 year ago, maybe the person 1 year ago, or maybe the person's I mean the 1 years the 1 years earlier version of you, or maybe
Mm.
2 years earlier version of you
Yeah.
are able to answer the question, but after some time you realize that you couldn't answer the question anymore. You suddenly couldn't understand why people don't start to do investments. You
Mm.
can't revert back and understand the thoughts clearly.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, but of course, actually you should. Yeah, and if you keep thinking, and if you think in deep, you definitely could understand them. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, because this is just like the awareness. But your your actions and your behavior without is already formed. So the habits is already formed. The thinking, the thought already formed, and you
Mm.
couldn't revert back. So yeah, of course you can explain why that is important to your partner, and also and also not only on investment. For example, like habits. For example, like the hard work. For example, like you need to have a positive belief. You need to be optimistic. And you need to do meditation. You need to do exercise. You need to sleep
Mm.
8 hours enough. You need to
Yeah.
take healthy meals. Yeah, and all of this is very important. And but how can you explain to a person who don't think this is not who don't think this is important?
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how can you pursue how can you persuade your girlfriend do meditations?
Mm.
How can you
Yeah.
persuade your girlfriends, your partner consistently do exercise,
Mm.
sleep, sleep enough 8 hours, change their habits? Yeah, it is really difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in a relationship, this is not about changing another person. Yeah, uh, in a relationship, if you try to change the counterparty, and it will lead to unhappiness.
Yeah.
Yeah, but of course, you can tell them, you can tell them, you can explain them, you can influence them. At the end, they may change. Yeah,
Mm.
but you couldn't force them to change.
Yeah.
Mm.
Exactly.
Yeah, it requires like the communications and all that, and and you need to help. You need to help them become a better person, and they
Mm.
also will help you in some circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is how you grow together. Yeah, this is a process.
Mm.
And okay, uh to clarify that is, but it doesn't mean that you need to find the true love. Yeah, there's no true love. Mm. And because you couldn't find a person fully understand you if
Yep.
if they have zero knowledge of you. Yeah, and it requires communications. It requires uh
Time.
to yeah, it requires time, and it requires to being known by other people. It requires
Yeah.
your integrity. You need to tell them the truth. You need to share your thoughts, uh,
Mm.
your uh, uh, what you think in your mind,
Yeah.
and what's your concerns and all that. Mm.
Mm.
And yeah, this is really really difficult. Mm. But what if you got the AI girlfriend, and they can and she can grow together with you,
Mm.
and it requires lesser time for you to grow to grow with them together, because
Yeah.
they can know you better than you know yourself,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. Mm. And maybe with technology, they can also kind of read your minds better than human do,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
Mm.
mm.
All
and
right.
and grow with a person and grow with an AI. Is there any difference? Yeah, this is a question for us.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, I think for human side, it is maybe it is yeah, of course it is different, but not so much. But for the robot side, I think there is a great difference here. Why? Because like you said, if two people in a relationship, in a romantic relationship, and if you want to change your counterparty, you want to influence them, maybe if you do it slowly and skillfully, they won't feel unhappy so much, and they can also change. But uh, uh, at the end, we still, as a human, we still want to kind of be ourselves, right? Uh, in a relationship, especially, we want to be the real person of ourselves. We don't want to fake or what. So maybe in short term, it will more or less create some unhappiness for the party that needed to change to the level which is same or closer to yours.
Okay, how do you define change here?
Okay, like for example, just now for the aspects of investment, uh, if if she or he doesn't think investment is important, so
But do you think it's important, and why? Why is it really, really important? Why you think it's 100% correct, absolute correct things that your partner also should do? Just like you need to work hard.
mm,
Yeah, if that is absolute correct, and they don't do that, it's because their connection is not at that level. Mm. And once they have a deep thought, once
mm,
they have a deep understanding about investment, they would do that.
yeah, but how do we lead them to that uh, to have that deep thinking?
Yeah, yeah.
Unless they take the action, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Mm,
This is a key point. This is really
yeah.
the key point.
So
Your partner
taking
you
yeah, yeah.
yeah your partner need to take action, and
Mm,
no one will help them,
yeah,
including
yeah.
you. You also couldn't help them.
Mm. And I think this is what I want to say. Because taking action sometimes for ourselves, we want to form a new habit or break a habit, break a bad habit. If we didn't have some knowledge like the book Atomic Habits, and we will also find it difficult to 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 start doing it, right? To
Mm.
perform the action. Even ourselves, we find it difficult. Even we believe that something we need to do, something is right, we need to do that. Also, kind of having frictions everywhere.
Mm.
So,
And it require your awareness. It require your meta connection,
mm,
and you keep thinking anytime. Yeah, you keep thinking anytime why you didn't do that, why you should why you know you should do that, but you still didn't take action. You need to think anytime. Yeah, and how can you like uh tell a person what they should do anytime? Mm. And the
mm,
first step, they need to raise awareness. And they need to acquire the skill of meta connections.
yeah, yeah. And then, yeah, just continue back to my point. I think there is a great difference here because for human, because of the nature of technology, they are learning all the way, and then of course they are open enough to accept new things. And for them, maybe they don't have the problems of something like uh, uh, cannot do something, cannot form a new habit easily. Maybe they can do it just very easily. They have the maybe the never uh, uh, they have the infinitive willpower. Maybe they just need to use willpower. They can perform it.
No, they just need to use the electricity. They don't need
Yeah,
willpower.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
if we make them compare as like a person, we treat them like a
Mm,
person.
yeah.
Yeah, so this is the difference. They can, uh, they let's say if we say that in a relationship, changing together, improving together, not changing, improving together is very important. I agree with this totally. And if we compare human and a robot, I think robots can definitely do better than human.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, and maybe at that time, maybe most of the time they are uh they did better than us. Yeah, so it's like we are trying to improve ourselves to keep with them.
Yeah. It's also yeah, could be one of the case. But this
Mm.
is a good thing, right?
Yes, yes. And then because they are robots, they also know us, so they won't be going too fast. Maybe they will kind of
Mm.
awaiting us, and then maybe let you outperform them for a few days, and after that
Yeah.
they beat you again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, and another okay, the next question is actually what is the interaction with humans versus with a robot in terms of biology? So what is the chemical inside our mind? What is the chemical our body produce based
Mm.
on the interactions? For example, we know by having sex with with the real uh persons, yeah, the real persons may boost your the what is it called uh, the sorriness or something like that. The
The serotonin.
yeah, serotonin. Yeah, the opposite of the dopamine. Yeah, of course, it also will release the dopamine, but it
Mm.
will also release the serotonin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is something, and this is also something like the chemical produced by your body,
Mm.
and also like touch, like the heart, and all that will also make you feel good in terms
Yeah.
of biology. Yeah, in terms of biological. So your
Mm.
mind will produce the chemical, so you feel happy. Yeah, but what is the difference here is if if we do that with a robot, can our body release the chemical?
Yeah, I think that is a question mark, but
Mm,
I think it is very likely. Yeah,
mm,
and actually, to me, I think dealing with a machine, dealing with a robot, and dealing with living creatures, which is the human, uh, they will be more or less always different. And then
mm,
maybe in that era, the AI era, and then dealing with robots is just a new way of interaction. Maybe we wouldn't treat it like dealing with human anymore. Maybe we know that this is a robot, but we still can have the interaction. We have the affection putting inside. Yeah, maybe I think at that time that is a new one. Not necessary we need to think they are the real human.
yeah. But this is the most difficult part. Why? Because if you deal with different race, you have different emotion, you have different feeling.
Mm.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
if you deal with robot, not humans?
Yep. Yep. I think this is also a question mark because in the Atomic Habits we know that even though after thousands of years and uh, even though with so many advancement in our world.
Technology.
Yeah, nowadays, but in our mind, many things still react the
Ancients.
yeah, ancient. Our brain
just
is
like
still,
ancient system.
yeah, we still have the ancient brain dealing with the modern environment. So maybe at that time, we still have the ancient brain. Maybe we couldn't really accept a robot as
Mm.
as good as with human. Maybe.
Yeah. So, you think what you say is actually we couldn't fully accept a robot subconsciously, and this is
Mm,
not something that we can control.
yeah. Yeah.
Just like
Right.
you deal with different race, you deal with different gender. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Maybe the deal with different gender. That could explain because
Mm,
this is our gene. Yeah.
yeah.
So, but you also couldn't against with your genes. Yeah. This is very difficult, and it's nearly impossible.
Mm,
Yeah. And yeah, just now what I mentioned is actually you can use two words to summarize, which is a nocebo effect. Mm, yeah,
mm,
yeah,
yeah.
because uh, you deal with a robot, but the robot is really really good. It's better than humans, but inside your mind, you couldn't release the chemical.
Mm,
Yeah,
yep.
you uh in subconsciously you keep thinking this is a robot, this is not
Mm,
a human,
yep.
uh, and this is a machine. And all the interaction is fake ones.
Mm,
Yeah, so maybe there's some nocebo effect.
yeah.
And whether we can overcome that is a question actually. The question
Mm,
mark. Just like we already know the placebo effect, the nocebo effect, but we still have to face with them. Mm.
yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything to add in?
Um, yeah, I think are you going to talk about the the purpose?
The purpose? Yeah, just now I
Yeah.
told you already. Grow
Oh,
together.
okay. Mm, yeah. Okay. So yeah, for me, I think I have something to add in because I haven't touched much
Yeah.
about the purpose.
Mm.
Okay, for this yeah, if we can have the authority 100%, I think for here I will like firstly the robot girlfriends actually to be my assistant. Yeah, and this can be in many ways. Um, it is more than a company. I mean, accompany us to stay with us, and then it can also help us to do many things. Yeah. So so this is the first one, and then of course, second one, as a man, we want girlfriend. We cannot deny that. We want to have sex with them. Yeah, so this is the second purpose. And then beside this, I think if they are the robot girlfriends, because they are robots, so maybe they can help us to make money also. Yeah, uh, maybe in which way I couldn't imagine, but I think they can perform many things that human can do. And um yeah, I think they it is possible that they can make money just like human. Yep. So yeah, this is basically the parts for this second question.
Yeah. So having a AI uh, girlfriend robot,
Mm.
does that fit your relationship value?
Um, fix my relationship value.
Not fix. I mean a fit. Fit.
Fit. Fit. Yeah, I think it. Um. Okay, for this one, I don't know why. Because if I deal with a robot, I will think like they are robots, and I will treat them uh like a mate, you know. Yeah, because I can do that because they are machines. So I would ask them to do many things, maybe uh to 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 do the all the house chores, and then maybe uh to help me in many ways. So as I wish. But for the real human, I think uh that is something that we should share together to do it. I will care about the feeling, but for robots, maybe I still couldn't accept um treating a robot like a human. I would treat them like still a machine, still a mate which can help
Okay.
us to do anything.
Why you think when you instruct your AI robot girlfriends to do the household, then she definitely will do.
Hmm. Yeah, because
They can,
they
yeah, they can choose not to do. Yeah,
yeah,
if
because
if they if they
not
do
only we
everything,
yeah.
uh, if if she do everything you instruct them to do, then
Mm,
this is not as real as humans.
yeah, yeah. And also I reminds what you said previously, not only we change them, they also change us, right? They also influence us.
Mm.
So if we keep instructing them, maybe we are insisted want them to do, maybe they still don't want to do and trying to influence us back, right?
Mm. No.
Mm,
Yeah. But it actually depends. Depends. Uh, what's your real personality, and it also depends. Uh, what what type of person you want to be. For example, you want to cut loss, but you keep eating and you couldn't stop because this is your
mm,
habit.
yeah.
Yeah, and your AI girlfriends don't let you to eat. Mm.
Mm,
And can you imagine if you get an AI girlfriend
yeah.
and then she will fulfill your needs. She will give everything you want to eat. She will cook she'll cook every delicious food. Yeah, and she know how to cook the delicious food and then give you to eat. And is it good for your health? It's not good, right? So
Yeah.
what should a real girlfriend do? Yeah, what should a real human do? It's not give you it not give you the delicious foods to eat. It's maybe try to influence you to eat healthy, to eat less, to do exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is in a good way. Mm.
Mm, yeah, maybe for robot girlfriend because they have the knowledge. Maybe they already have the knowledge of in the atomic habits. They will kind of give you a food which is firstly it mentions in the book, right, example healthy diet. They started to, let's say if you want to be a vegetarian, they will kind of take out the animals with four
Mm.
legs first.
Yeah.
So let's say
Mm.
if we put this concept into having a healthy diet, maybe they will take out maybe the most unhealthy food first, and then a little bit more along the time, right?
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. So ask you the question again. Having a having an AI girlfriend, is that fit your relationship value?
Um,
Or maybe
yeah.
you should explain what's your relationship value in summary.
Um, yeah, I think for the relationship value, I want the I yeah, firstly they need to be uh something like to um how to say the affection need to be there. The um yeah, I don't know how to explain this. This is the maybe it's kind of
You mentioned in Chinese.
okay. For this one, maybe is the uh 人情味 or the 重感情 something like that.
Is it the humanity, 人性?
Humanity, humanity isn't that is the kind of still basic and everybody should have that.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
it's
just
it's
now
more
what
than that.
you just now what you mentioned is something like a little bit relate to the justice and a little bit relate to the sense of uh, of, sense of family.
Yeah,
You see something like that?
yep.
Just like the Fast and Furious, uh, yeah, just like the Fast and Furious, we are the family. It's something that, right?
Yeah, but I didn't watch that movie. Yeah, but it's something that. Mm,
Yeah, but if AI can replicate it,
yeah. So I couldn't assure that I won't like I couldn't assure that I won't love a robot machine uh uh more than a human. I mean, uh I also don't know because if they can really do that, maybe I would like them more than a human.
and just how you mentioned about the sense of family,
Mm.
but it is a little bit subjective, you know. And how can you ensure your partner, I mean, the real humans, have the sense of family? And you
Um,
know,
mm,
human is not only driven by the mental benefits, and we also pursue some monetary benefits incentivized by something. For example, uh, yeah, maybe let's say this is a very extreme question.
yeah.
If somebody give you 1 billion or 1 trillion, will you kill your girlfriend? Maybe you won't, and maybe you won't kill your girlfriend or kill your wife. But actually, in in reality, many people will accept that with a lower amount. You know why? They cheat the insurance company and then they kill their partner so they can
Mm,
get the money from the insurance company.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is an extreme example. And another question is, if give you an infinite money, you can pick the amount. Yeah, you can pick 1 million, 1 billion, 1 trillion. You can suddenly
Mm,
become uh the richest man in the world.
yeah.
And but I ask you to leave your girlfriend or leave your partner. When you do that, yeah, you didn't hurt them. You just leave them.
Mm,
So yeah, and it's really hard to answer. And most likely our answer will be yes. Yeah, I'm willing to take the deal.
mm,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, uh if somebody asks your girlfriend, maybe she also will choose. Maybe she also will take the deal.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
and but she won't tell you.
Mm.
Mm.
Also, not only that we won't say the truth. In our conscious, I think in our mindset, we still have a lot of struggling inside, right? Maybe
Mm.
if this really become a true, this offer is a true putting in front of you. Maybe you change your mind, you accept it, right? Yeah, for ourselves, maybe we're still struggling. We're not still clear what we want to choose.
Yeah, and it actually relates to one of the things I mentioned in the past,
Yeah.
which is two type of person. Which type of person you think will achieve long term will, will have higher long term happiness, higher base level of happiness long term?
Yeah.
The person who know about humanity, who know every bad in human, who know when it occurs, who know how to not how to prevent them, but know what situation it will arise, and then what we should take care. Yeah, we need to, and they have the awareness. They will be careful of that. And another person is they think human is really a powerful living thing, and human can achieve anything they want to achieve.
Yeah.
And this is full of positive. And he believe the the good of the humans, and he reject the bad of the humans. And he also believe if people group together, they can create a better world. They will make the world worse. Yeah, a worse. Yeah. So which type of persons are more likely to get higher base happiness level in long term is actually the person who know humanity, who know the bad thing in human, have the awareness of that. Because only that you can there's something you couldn't change because this is about your genes. This is about the law of nature. You couldn't change, but you will be careful of that. Yeah, you will activate your meta connections. You tell yourself you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
And then how this link to the question? Yeah, if give you $1 billion, if give you $1 billion, will you kill a person and then, or maybe will you leave your partner? For those people who answer definitely no, yeah, for those people who answer definitely no without giving additional explanations, they definitely don't have the awareness about that. They don't have an idea about $1 billion. They also don't have an idea about the humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Right.
Okay, back to the question, the sense of family and yeah. But don't talk about the robots. Talk about a human. How do you know whether they have sense of family or not? Just like what I say, in some circumstances, because of the monetary incentive or maybe some other incentive, they may act differently from your thoughts, from your perspectives. So they maybe they have the sense of family. You can think like this is something like the probability. In some circumstances they have, in some circumstances they don't have.
Yeah,
And
this is also human nature, right? We couldn't have someone uh um because that is something like to comparison of two things, cost and benefit, something like that, right?
yeah.
Yeah, and for money, if that is an offer, money of course is at the benefit side. So if we really have the awareness to compare two things, then yeah, that situation must occur, cost versus benefit.
So yeah, so the question is, what is the sense of family to you? if you want an AI robot, if you want an AI girlfriend, you also need to let them know. But maybe it's not the case. They can observe you and they know better than you. And maybe in your deep mind, you are not demand the sense of family. You actually demand other things. Okay, but never mind. Uh, I just curious. I just curious about what is sense of family to you.
Okay, for this one, because for us, we can put our focus, we can put our effort, and also maybe money and time in different aspect in our life. Let's say if you uh, um, you can choose to put all these things maybe on your work more as a priority, or you can choose to put all these things on yourself also. You can choose to do that, and also you can also choose to uh, put money, effort, time more on family. So I mean, for me, I will put uh, the main proportion and on the family. Yeah, so I wish that not only the family that I built, and also that could also be my parents, my siblings, live together with me. Those people live together with me. I will assign more of these I call them resources, yeah, on this aspect. So I think this is something that I can get the happiness from.
Mm, so live together.
Not only live together is a way. It's a
Mm,
way, but whether you spend your time with them, yeah, like you mentioned before, if two people, one is your family member, and you two are at a different location, you still can contact with each other, but it costs you time, right? Time and effort.
mm,
Whether you really want to assign your resources on this.
mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember last time you told me you actually have a chat every day with your girlfriends at night, is it?
Yeah.
Mm. So, uh, uh, do, do, uh, do you still have the traditions?
Traditions? What kind of traditions? Do you mean
uh,
this habit
yeah,
or this?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
at this activity. Mm.
yeah.
So is this one type of example about the sense of family?
I think it can be, yeah, because this also requires my time and effort.
Mm.
Mm, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But one thing you have to know about relationship, to having a success relationship, it must you take time, it must you put effort on that.
Mm,
So uh, if they can do that, both of a person can do that, the relationship uh, uh, will mm, or will become better, will become better. But it just like, for example, mm, it's just like something like the basic, and it's just like the part of journey that you guys had to go through.
mm,
So if you so for example, you can choose drive your car to your
yeah.
office. You also can choose to take the airplane to your office. And you know, uh, what type of route you choose, you definitely will reach your office. Then what kind of vehicle you prefer
Yeah.
get that. So that means what kind of persons are more likely to have a sense of family.
Mm, yeah.
And yeah, and also and also actually this is something can be learned, you know. And yeah, because when you know about relationship, when you know actually relationship is also the first indicator to measure happiness, mm, to determine whether you are happy or unhappy. A relationship play a crucial role in terms of happiness. And if you want to be happy, you need to spend the time in the relationship. You need to, it requires hard work, just like
Yeah.
one mentions. So you need to invest in this relationship. It definitely costs your time, costs your effort, and also costs your money, costs your energy. Yeah. And if the counterparty not willing to do that, then this relationship definitely uh, will become will become the end. Yeah, so that means you won't continue the relationship with the person. You will find you will find the next person.
Yeah.
So what I want to mention here is, if this is true, if this skill can be learned, are you actually talking about you can have a relationship, you can marry to anyone if she, if the counterparty can learn the skill? I think your answer should be no, right? In this case.
Do you mean that beside my current girlfriend, if other if other people can have similar uh, uh, beliefs, values, or personality, can
Yeah,
also be.
and they also have the behavior to invest in this relationship, and they know what's the important thing in the relationship. Yeah, so they'll invest into their relationship. So because you just now you talk about the sense of family, and you talk about like you need to like put in time, put in effort. Yeah. So does it mean that if if any other people are able to do that,
Yeah.
you can form the relationship with the persons.
Um. Okay. For me, actually, um, yeah. If let's say I didn't meet my girlfriend 3 years ago. Yeah, my answer would be yes, of course. There are still other considerations, for example, uh, appearance. Yeah, this is something we should also take into account. Yeah, but the value of the the family concept is something that uh, I will consider also, and that is a quite a big portion. Yeah. Yep. So my answer is yes. It still depends on other considerations. It is probable. It is totally it is totally probable.
Yeah. But I still think this is quite subjective,
Yes.
and it seems like uh, you still haven't figured out actually uh, what's the implications and why you think like this. Because if I give you another example and maybe you say no, because you know actually you talk about the invest times and invest efforts. This is not that difficult to do, you know. This is really not that difficult to do. If your, let's say your partner have nothing to do, they just stay at home. She just stay at home after marriage.
Yeah.
or maybe she don't have any work, and she rely on you financially, mentally,
Yeah.
all that. And yeah, uh, she can invest the time, she can invest the effort, she can invest the energy.
Mm.
At the same time, because they don't have work, they don't have job, they still can, they still have their own, she still have her own time to enjoy her life. So to her, she just need to invest maybe, let's say, 30% of her time in this relationship, because you're not going to invest 30% of your time in relationship. You're not able to do that if you have the job.
Mm.
But she
Yeah.
could. And besides of that, she also left 70% of her time to do their own thing. She can go out with her friends. She can do whatever thing she wants to do. But yeah, she did invest in this relationship. She did put in effort. And you can look at most of the housewife. Can you say they don't invest into this relationship? They don't invest into this marriage. They take care of the child. Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah.
They stay at home. They cook for you. They take care uh your daily life. They, they, they buy the clothes. They do uh uh, uh they prepare the meals, all that. And they teach the child.
Mm.
Mm. And is it that simple? You need to ask you need to ask that question to you. Is it just that simple? Mm.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, you're right. In that case, they can kind of this aspect, but to me, I still, um, yeah, like having a question in my mind.
Mm.
Even though if they can invest in this part, is that really what they want to do? Do they enjoy when doing it? Let's say if
It
today
can it can
you have
become a habit. It can become a habit, and you couldn't distinguish whether uh she liked the thing or not. Just like you do meditations. at
mm,
the end you at the end you may think you like to do meditation, but what if I ask another ones, like like any other habit,
mm,
any other habits, will you say you like to do the habits? Do you say you like to do the thing? You couldn't. And also you couldn't say you didn't enjoy. You also couldn't say you didn't enjoy, because just like the habits, we have the cue, we have the create, we have the response, we have the rewards.
yeah.
Just fulfill all these, and the reward maybe it's not something that really really fulfill your needs, your wants. Just like for example, we saw some notification or apps, and there's like one, two, or maybe 999 plus, and we want to click, we want to make the notification on the apps icons disappear. This is also a reward. Mm.
Yeah.
This is also a habit, and
Yeah.
then the software company make it, yeah, they make it purposely, so we'll click the apps more often.
Mm.
But will you say you like to do that, but you
Yeah.
keep doing that? So you couldn't distinguish if you know about habits. Yeah, this is it just become a habit. You can say it just become their life. This is about the habit of their life, and you can say each habit is a small one, but there are many habits, like become a housewife.
Mm.
This is formed by a lot of habits, but all of these habits becomes their life. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and uh, this is and also this is your relationship value. Why you care other people whether they like it or not, whether they enjoy it or not. Actually, you should know. what is the deep thought in your mind, right? Because this is your relationship value. Why you need to care other people? If your relationship value need to depends on other people's reactions, would you think it will be something it's not that good? It seems like this is not something that uh this is not something that um, something that's true. Something that's true because you expect to see other people enjoy something, or you expect you expect your partner like the thing. It seems like they have to like the thing.
Um. Yeah, I think for here it is quite complicated.
Yeah. But it is a question mark to you. So uh, in my humble opinion, you need to know better in your big thought, and also maybe you can read some book, and also to seek some information to know about the relationship. Maybe that will change your mind. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Really.
But it doesn't mean that your mindset, your thought is the wrong one, because this is just a choice. This is just about whether you really understand your thoughts.
Yeah.
Because this is too subjective to me. So uh, I think I have to point out that you know.
Yeah.
Okay. So anything else?
Yeah. No, for this topic.
Okay. So that's all for our today conversations. How did you feel? Did you enjoy the conversations? Please tell us what you think of our conversation. And we are not native speakers. If you found any vocabulary mistake we made, please also comment to let us know. Because we want to learn more and improve ourselves. Remember to like and subscribe to us. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.